What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already found us, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post one cooking video a week. We try our best to post at least one cooking video a week. We've been slacking, been a little bit busy. Like we told you guys in the last video, been traveling a lot in the last few weeks. Finally been able to put a little bit of a pause on that for about another week or two, and then we'll be traveling again a short period of time here in the state. But we have another episode of Sunday-Gunday tonight. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight's topic is going to be a law that was basically passed recently. It's been a hot topic here in Florida regarding the Second Amendment community. It's going to affect a lot of people in the Second Amendment community. Title of the video tonight is going to be Florida open carry of firearms now legal. So Florida open carry, meaning the carrying of firearms have been legal here in the state from before I can even remember. I don't have all that information. All I know is the state of Florida has always been firearm friendly, Second Amendment, but it's always been concealed. The weapon has carried by civilians, unless you're employed in law enforcement or some type of security professional with a uniform. Anybody else that's carrying a firearm would have to conceal that firearm. It has to be out of sight. Firearm could be on you. You used to have a concealed firearms permit in the state of Florida to be able to carry a concealed weapon on your person. That was changed about a year and a half, 2 years ago by the governor. State of Florida made Florida a constitutional carry state, meaning you can carry your firearm as long as you don't have any felonies. You're not a fugitive from justice, not a convicted felon. Basically, you can carry your firearm concealed since about 2 years, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, maybe 2.5 years now. The governor passed the constitutional carry. So you don't even need a permit now, just a driver's license, 21 years of age. But now we're entering into a different territory now as it comes to the Second Amendment community. Now open carry in Florida has been legalized. There was a ban in place since 1987. The ban was lifted after the First District Court of Appeal of Florida overturned the open carry ban, basically saying that this is unconstitutional regarding the Second Amendment, and it allows Florida gun owners to legally carry firearms in public and to openly carry those firearms if they desire. Might not be a wise choice in certain situations. Certain situations might be all right for open carry, but it opens you up to a liability. It opens you up to all kinds of stuff. The element of surprise is basically taken off the table if you're openly carrying firearms. So we're going to get more into that, but we're going to do disclosure as usual. Welcome back to the channel, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel. Channel is for educational purposes only. We preach lawful self-defense. We're by no means gun fanatics. We're not giving any legal advice, of course. We're just simply giving you guys our opinions and how you should maneuver safely and operate in a safe manner with your weapons, and what you should and should not be doing with those weapons to stay out of trouble. We have a message for trolls as usual. We don't have time to entertain trolls. Anybody in the comment section that decides to act like a troll or be a troll or start acting like a troll or whatever, we're just going to block you. We don't have time for it. So that's a message for the trolls. We're coming from 16 years of law enforcement experience. Myself, I've been an armed security guard in the state of Florida since 2010. Been employed with companies like Wackenhut, G4S, Wackenhut, now is known as Allied Universal. Been employed with the Blackwater Agency, another private security firm. Been employed with the federal government, United States Department of Homeland Security, for a short period of time. Currently a police officer in the state of Florida. Been a certified police officer since 2014, January of 14. So that's just some of the experience as usual. We'll let you guys know where we're coming from. Shout outs to Gun Freak Nation on YouTube, the Second Amendment advocate that collaborates with us, Trey 57 Production, another Second Amendment advocate, and finally the Alert Zone TV with Uncle James, another collaborator, sponsors our channel and their videos, and tells people to subscribe and basically, add our channel, check our content out. So we really appreciate those 3 channels. Wouldn't be able to do this content if it weren't for them. Basically putting us out there with their subscribers. They have 20-30,000 subscribers at least. Gun Freak Nation for sure. So we appreciate all 3 of those channels. So for tonight, open carry. So Florida was open carry prior to 1987. There was a ban that was put in place. I don't have all the details as far as the ban that was put in place, but there was a ban. This has been more than 40 years, or close to 40, if I'm not mistaken. Supreme Court put a ban in place on openly carrying firearms. So the only people that be openly carrying firearms would be your law enforcement officials, military, or anybody employed in any kind of security capacity, anybody in a uniform, law enforcement related capacity would be able to openly carry their firearms with restrictions as far as like security personnel. There's certain restrictions. There's handbooks that are given to personnel that are working any kind of security detail or any stuff like that. Law enforcement also, they have their limitations. They have their ability to perform their duties and bear firearms in the performance of those duties. But other than that, you wouldn't see anybody just walking down the street with a gun on their hip, or a AR-15 or a rifle on a sling on their chest or on their back. We're getting reports in Broward County. My sister is a security supervisor in Broward County. She's an armed security supervisor. She works been working in law enforcement for years now. Getting reports from her and other people that are employed in law enforcement. Stand by. Sorry about that. YouTube had a friend of mine employed in law enforcement that just called me, needed a quick favor, so we had to pause the video real quick. That never happens on this channel. That was a little bit funny, but so you guys can see, law enforcement is on duty 24/7. There's no day off. There's always calls coming through. So sorry about that once again, but we like to keep it real on this channel and not edit out any funny things that happen on here. So getting back to what I was saying, getting reports from my sister and other people in the area. I have associates in the Broward County area. I'm native to the Broward County area, just north of Miami. If you guys are familiar with Miami-Dade, north of Miami, Broward County, we're getting reports of my sister and other people employed in law enforcement reporting that as of today was the first day that the open carry was legal, basically legalized, the 25th of September. Getting reports of people with Uzis hanging from their chest on a sling, people with Uzis walking around, people with AR-15 style rifles, AR-15 style pistols, shorter barreled rifles, AK-47 style rifles, shotguns, people walking around with tactical vests, with all kinds of magazines attached to the vest, people walking around with sidearms on the side of their belt like the police do. Any kind of setup is basically okay now as far as this open carry ban has been lifted. You're going to see a lot more of this. The open carry was restricted until a few weeks ago. It was restricted to traveling to and from fishing or hunting, any kind of fishing or hunting. That's done with now. That's out of the question. Anybody in law enforcement are being instructed by their superiors, especially us, the deputies here in this county that I work in. local law enforcement is being instructed to refer to Florida Statute 790 regarding any kind of firearm laws that might be being violated. There's still restrictions to this. Basically, any polling place, any kind of a government building, any polling places for voting are off limits. You have certain schools and colleges that are also restricted. You have restrictions on there unless you're in law enforcement. You're in law enforcement capacity, and that doesn't apply to you. Then you can bear your firearms. You're a sworn person. Anybody that's a sworn law enforcement officer, that doesn't apply to them on and off duty. But anybody in a civilian capacity, government buildings, polling places, sheriff's offices, highway patrol stations, police stations, courthouses, and any kind of a government building that's deemed to be in this category is off limits. You have private companies that are allowed to put up signs that basically say no firearms allowed. People that are concealed carrying, obviously, if you're concealed carrying, we're not recommending going anywhere that is not allowed, because that you would be breaking that policy, even though you're not breaking any kind of a law, but you're breaking that company's policy if you're carrying any kind of firearms and they say no firearms allowed. But if you're openly carrying those firearms, private businesses can turn you away. We have a few private businesses that we looked up and basically have policies in place that say no open carry or no firearms at all. It could be any private business that can restrict you. It could be a residence that can restrict you from carrying any kind of firearm on their residence, and you can be asked to leave. You can be asked to leave basically by any kind of a private business. It could be a supermarket. We're not going to name any names just to keep it, just so we don't have any issues on the channel. We don't have any type of shadow banning or any kind of strikes on this channel. We need to be very careful what we say. Civilians are urged to just follow any policies or any laws. That way you don't have any issues, you don't run into anything. But you can be restricted from carrying those firearms on a private business or residence, and if you refuse to leave, it becomes an armed trespass. It's not just a trespass, it becomes an armed trespass because you're carrying a firearm. Once again, the element of surprise is gone when you're openly carrying a firearm. If you're in any kind of capacity, in law enforcement capacity, you're obviously going to be carrying a firearm openly because that's just the nature of the business. If you're in any kind of security or law enforcement capacity, it's obvious that you're a sworn person and you openly carry your firearms. That's just how it's always been. But if you're going to be walking around like a cowboy with a weapon on your hip, you're making yourself a target. You're taking the element of surprise away. The open carry law that's just been passed doesn't require you to open carry. It gives you the option to either openly carry your firearms or concealed carry. Whatever method it might be, the gun has to be in a holster. It has to be secured in a holster. It could be in a setup like this, what I'm carrying right here. I got a Glock right here. It's a Glock 10mm. It's in an ankle holster right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Anything like this could be carried openly or concealed. You can carry your weapons in a holster. I got another gun right here. It's a .357 Magnum. It's in a leather holster here on my hip. So you guys can either conceal or openly carry the firearms. I wouldn't recommend openly carrying. It's just my opinion. The element of surprise is basically taken away. You forfeit that when you openly carry a firearm, and if you have any chance to just have that element of surprise on your side, it can be very useful. You don't know what kind of situation you might be in, and you don't want to be broadcasting to the world that you have a weapon. It can cause all kinds of situations. You can get false calls to law enforcement saying that you might have done something when you didn't. There's a lot of chaos right now. A lot of people are responding to situations in different ways. Some people don't agree. Some people are not on board with firearms. There's some people that are against firearms. They don't believe that they serve a purpose. So you might find yourself in a situation where you're broadcasting something and somebody might not agree with, and you find yourself in a world of legal troubles. Somebody might make a false call and say something, say you did something with the firearm, or you were intimidating, or you were doing something that you shouldn't have been doing. So in my opinion, concealed carry, that's the best way to do it. I'm going to continue to conceal carry. If I'm not working, I conceal carry. I might carry one weapon, I might have two on me. I mean, it depends what the situation is, but I'm not going to be broadcasting what I'm doing, so that you don't make yourself a target. You remain safe. You may remain responsible with your weapons. Once again, the chapter for firearms, Florida, is 790. You can refer to chapter 790 for any kind of firearm rules or laws that you want to refer to, and specify, get specific details on those. Once again, we're on day one of open carry in Florida, and people in Broward County are already seeing people already walking around with their weapons, which they can. It's legal. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're already seeing a display of open carry. A lot of people are unaware of this situation. We have a lot of tourists from out of the country or out of the state that don't comprehend. So there's been a lot of 911 calls that have been going out, and so it's disrupting things in a way, and it's going to continue to disrupt until people are stabilized and realize that this is something that's just going to have to people are going to have to adapt to this. Some people might not agree with it all, but we have to just be law abiding and try to maintain order, and just try to cooperate with one another, regardless of what our beliefs are, regardless of what we might believe is right or wrong. So that's it for tonight. That's the open carry, Florida open carry ban lifted. Florida open carry now legal as of September 25th, 2025. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We're going to continue to post as much content as we can, videos like this, informative videos, so you guys are aware of the laws, any kind of laws that are changing, any kind of fair use videos that we can post regarding any kind of incidents that happen on the news, self-defense content, firearm content, firearm reviews, and we'll continue to keep you guys informed. Alright, so thank you for tuning in. Once again, Gun Freak Nation, Trey 57 Production, and the Alert Zone TV, 3 channels that collaborate with us on YouTube. Check them out. Subscribe to our channel, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.